Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Welcome to the vibrant, electric world of Mardi Gras in New Orleans, a celebration that is far more than parades, costumes, and beads. This is a festival born from centuries of history, shaped by power and resistance, exclusion and inclusion, sorrow and joy. Mardi Gras is where identity, memory, and celebration collide in the streets. From secretive krewes and cultural defiance to the massive modern spectacle watched around the world, this is the story of how Mardi Gras became the soul of New Orleans. Today, we explore its origins, its struggles, its traditions, and the unstoppable spirit that keeps it alive. Number 2. Historical context and the rise of the krewes. Mardi Gras first arrived in Louisiana in the early 18th century, carried across the Atlantic by French settlers who brought European carnival traditions with them. These celebrations marked the final days before Lent, a time of indulgence before sacrifice. Over time, Mardi Gras evolved into something uniquely New Orleans. By the mid-1800s, elite social organizations known as krewes emerged. Groups like Comus, founded in 1856, and Rex, established in 1872, formalized the celebration. They introduced elaborate floats, masked riders, carefully guarded membership lists, and invitation-only balls held in grand halls. These krewes didn't just throw parades, they shaped the image of Mardi Gras itself. However, these traditions were built on exclusion. Membership in old-line krewes was restricted to wealthy white elites. Mardi Gras became a mirror of the racial and social divisions of New Orleans. While these krewes ruled the main parade routes, many communities were left out of the official celebration entirely. A turning point came in 1991, when New Orleans City Councilwoman Dorothy May Taylor introduced an ordinance requiring all krewes to certify that they did not discriminate based on race, gender, or religion. The response was explosive. Some historic krewes chose to disband rather than comply, ending centuries-old traditions overnight. Yet this moment of loss became a moment of rebirth. The ordinance opened the door for new organizations larger, more inclusive, and reflective of modern New Orleans. These super krewes transformed Mardi Gras into a festival that better represented the city's diversity, creativity, and evolving identity. Number 3. Cultural resistance: the Mardi Gras Indians. While elite krewes dominated official Mardi Gras history, another tradition grew quietly in the shadows, one born not from privilege, but from resistance. The Mardi Gras Indians emerged from African American neighborhoods as a powerful act of cultural survival. Denied access to official parades, these communities created their own. Inspired by Native American tribes who helped enslaved Africans escape into freedom, Black New Orleanians honored them by forming tribes and sewing elaborate suits covered in beads, rhinestones, and feathers. Each suit is a masterpiece, often weighing over 100 pounds and taking nearly a year to complete. The designs are never reused. They exist only for that moment, symbolizing sacrifice, pride, and renewal. The Mardi Gras Indians parade not for tourists, but for each other. Their chants, call-and-response songs, and rhythmic drumming draw from African traditions, Caribbean influences, and generations of oral history. When tribes meet, they don't fight, they battle with beauty, artistry, and respect. In every stitch and step, the Mardi Gras Indians remind the city that culture cannot be silenced. Number 4. The North Side Skull and Bone Gang and Voodoo traditions. Before the sun rises on Mardi Gras morning, something ancient awakens in the Trem neighborhood. The North Side Skull and Bone Gang emerge in the early hours dressed in skull masks, bone-painted suits, and carrying staffs. This tradition is rooted in memento mori, the reminder that death is inevitable and life must be lived with intention. Influenced by African spirituality, Catholic symbolism, and New Orleans voodoo, the Skull and Bone Gang walks the streets, waking residents with chants and knocking on doors. Their message is not fear, but reflection. They urge people to let go of anger, forgive debts, honor ancestors, and remember that joy is precious because life is fragile. In a festival known for excess, this tradition provides balance, a reminder that Mardi Gras is not just about indulgence, but meaning. Number 5. Modern Mardi Gras and its economic power. Today, Mardi Gras is one of the largest cultural celebrations in the world. Each year, it attracts millions of visitors and generates nearly $900 million for the New Orleans economy. Hotels fill months in advance. Musicians, artists, food vendors, and small businesses depend on Mardi Gras to survive. Yet despite its scale, Mardi Gras remains deeply personal. Families guard their parade spots like inherited land. Krewes pass down membership through generations. Neighborhoods host block parties that feel more like reunions than tourist attractions. Mardi Gras is both global and local, commercial and sacred. That tension is what keeps it alive. Number 6. Culinary traditions eating the celebration. In New Orleans, food is history, and during Mardi Gras, that history becomes a celebration on every plate. The season transforms kitchens, bakeries, and streets into spaces of memory, tradition, and togetherness. At places like Dong Phuong Bakery, the famous king cake represents the heart of Mardi Gras, blending Vietnamese baking techniques with classic Louisiana flavors. Its vibrant colors symbolize faith, justice, and power, while a small hidden baby inside the cake brings both luck and responsibility to whoever finds it. Sharing king cake is not just a ritual, it is a bond that connects families, friends, and communities. Beyond dessert, Mardi Gras tables overflow with iconic dishes that define the city's identity. Gumbo simmers slowly, its rich roux reflecting African and French culinary roots, shaped by creativity and survival. Jambalaya tells another story, echoing Spanish influence and adapting Old World recipes to local ingredients. Red beans and rice offer comfort and tradition, proving that simple food can carry deep meaning. Seafood takes center stage through crawfish touffe, celebrating Louisiana's waterways and natural abundance. Sweet pralines add a final indulgence, blending French techniques with Southern flavor. Together, these dishes reflect centuries of cultural exchange: African, French, Spanish, Caribbean, and Native American influences merging into something uniquely New Orleans. Every bite during Mardi Gras is an act of remembrance. It honors the past while celebrating the present. Through food, Mardi Gras becomes a living story of survival, adaptation, and joy. Number 7. Parade atmosphere when the city becomes one. As the floats roll through the streets, New Orleans transforms into a living, breathing celebration. Towering creations drift past like moving works of art, showering the crowd with beads, trinkets, and laughter. Brass bands shake the pavement with rhythms that seem to rise straight from the city's soul, their horns echoing off balconies and narrow streets. Children scream with pure joy as they reach for throws, their faces lit up with wonder, while longtime locals smile knowingly, passing down the traditions they've cherished for generations. In these moments, strangers become neighbors. People from different backgrounds, cultures, and walks of life stand shoulder to shoulder, laughing, dancing, and moving to the same beat. Mardi Gras dissolves the invisible lines that usually divide society. Status, wealth, and identity fade into the background, replaced by shared excitement and human connection. The street becomes a common ground where everyone is welcome and everyone belongs. This is why Mardi Gras matters. It is not just spectacle or entertainment, it is collective joy made visible, a rare moment when a city unites in celebration, reminding everyone that joy, when shared, is powerful enough to bring people together. Number 8. Closing scene, let the good times roll. Mardi Gras is not just a festival, it is a declaration of resilience in the face of hardship, of culture that refuses to disappear, of joy that survives history. From its complicated origins and traditions of resistance to its modern explosion of color, sound, and life, Mardi Gras tells the story of New Orleans like nothing else can. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history, culture, and celebration. And until you experience it for yourself, laissez les bons temps rouler. Let the good times roll.